that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. To the Steelers fans who've been booing the team for lackluster performances the last several weeks, Coach Mike Tomlin agrees with you. He said today he shares your frustrations, understands what makes this thing go, which is winning. Heading into the AFC North showdown against the Ravens on Sunday, Tomlin's team has dropped 5 of 7.
We got to roll our sleeves up and go back to work, man. Our process for us is the thing for me. Certainly our last performance wasn't up to snuff, but I don't know that it lessens our belief in self or our ability to deliver individually and collectively moving forward.
Mike Tomlin, his Steelers are currently 9th in the AFC. Kansas Star freshman guard Darren Peterson will miss his 7th straight game tonight against number 5 Connecticut with that lingering hamstring injury. 9 Eastern, ESPN 2. Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase, Luis Ortiz facing a May trial on federal charges. They took bribes to help gamblers betting on their pitches. NHL sent a memo to teams warning against taking warm-ups without helmets. 3 teams have taken to the ice helmetless recently, a violation of NHL rules.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you which fan bases should be panicking as we head into Week 14 of the NFL season. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN 2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We have a plumb ton to do. Shea Dixon here in 15 minutes. Peter Burns next hour. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Just very quickly as we start, let me get you a little bit of breaking news here. This just in the last 20 minutes or so. From out at LSU. LSU head coach Lane Kiffin. Whew, used to that. LSU head coach Lane Kiffin has released a statement that LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis will coach Ole Miss in the college football playoff despite being hired at LSU. We have this full statement and story up at louisianasports.net. But the statement reads, with the playoff committee releasing updated rankings tonight, I want it to be known that after conversations with LSU, we are allowing Charlie to return to Ole Miss to coach the team during the playoffs. I've already made the committee aware of this, and I'm hopeful this decision will allow Ole Miss to receive the highest ranking possible because these great players are very deserving of that. I'm excited that Charlie will be back to help coach the greatest team in the history of Ole Miss. And that's all there at louisianasports.net. If you want to read it for free, everything free, always over at louisianasports.net. I'll react to that a bit more. I love the decision. I think that just on its face, this is going to look very good for Lane Kiffin and very bad for Ole Miss. Flatly. I mean, Ole Miss's whole reason why they wouldn't let Lane Kiffin coach is you can't coach the team if you're the LSU head coach. Well, Charlie Weis has signed a contract with LSU. He signed a 3-year, $6 million contract. He's LSU's offensive coordinator who's going to be coaching Ole Miss in the playoff. I mean, it's a total contradiction. Continues to. I'm not saying Lane Kiffin is inculpable in all this. I mean, it was a mess, and everybody has some share of blame, but this only further illustrates the contradiction there at Ole Miss and how poorly they handled the whole thing. In any event, we'll talk about this more a bit later because there's more pressing things at hand. The single biggest task Lane Kiffin has right now is to finish his first staff at LSU. The next biggest, of course, is going to be the early signing period on Wednesday. Well, there are some things that we already know about Lane Kiffin's staff that are coming together, like a lot of the offensive staff he's bringing. Charlie Weiss Jr., George McDonald, the receivers coach. There's others. And as I have learned, Lane Kiffin has extended the opportunity to Blake Baker to stay on staff as LSU's defensive coordinator. I don't think that's any surprise to anyone. They met. Lane Kiffin wants to proceed with Baker and this defensive staff. This is complicated because Blake Baker on Monday interviewed for Tulane's vacant head coaching job. Now, a little bit of the backstory, if you're not aware, Blake Baker, who's from Houston, played at Tulane from 2000 to 2004. He was a linebacker there. So this is his alma mater. It's a vacant job, and he interviewed for it on Monday. It's also worth noting that a year ago, John Sumrall was very close to getting the North Carolina job. The Tar Heels ended up hiring, Bill Belichick. Had Sumrall gotten that job, Baker had kind of made it known, and it was known in a lot of circles, that Baker was going to be one of the top candidates for that Tulane job last year. So it's not surprising at all that he interviewed and is a person of interest to Tulane in that job. For whatever it's worth, I've heard Shannon Dawson connected, heard Billy Napier as a person of interest. It is important to note that the last two coaches, Sumrall and Fritz, both were head coaches before they got the Tulane job. So Tulane hired sitting head coaches. So that's something that matters to Tulane. Just something worth keeping in mind there. This is going to be an interesting decision for Blake Baker if Tulane offers the job. Now, when Lane Kiffin on Monday met at his introductory press conference, he was asked about the staff. He was really non-committal. He didn't say very much, but this was his very short answer on the staff.
I don't know that I can get into it. There's so many things. What have we been here for 24 hours? So I don't know that all that is figured out, and we're still in the process. And it's a challenging spot too, because LSU is still playing in a bowl game too, and so Frank will continue to serve in that role. We've spent a lot of time together, the last 24 hours as I've been here, and so have made the decision that he's going to still stay in that role as the head coach of that team for the bowl game. So there's a lot of complicated moving parts in that.
So the one thing we know is Frank will coach the bowl game. Everything else, he was sort of evasive, not committing to anything. And some of the things we've talked about a bit here that have come to light. But for Blake Baker, I can tell you this. LSU is working to keep Blake Baker. And as of me coming on the air here today, the latest I heard from contacts at LSU is they were confident Blake Baker was going to stay and that LSU was willing to be competitive financially. So John Sumrall was making $3 million a year as the Tulane head coach. He left for Florida, is getting $7.5. God bless you. You doubled your salary. Baker is making $2.5 at LSU. So could they push him closer to or over $3 million? Maybe. One conversation I had last night with a high-level donor at LSU was that, and it was not Gordon. I think everyone always just assumes that. But that a lot of the donors at LSU are stepping up big time. And you can understand that. There's a ton of excitement, not just for NIL opportunities, but for staff and basically everything Lane Kiffin needs right now. You pulled off this major coup. So if you need to get Blake Baker to $3 million, I think they're going to be able to do that. And I believe from the LSU perspective, they are confident Blake Baker is going to remain their defensive coordinator. It is not, but it is important to note, it is, as I understand as of right now, but before I was outside coming on air, as I understand it, there has not yet been a signed contract with Blake Baker to extend him and keep him in Baton Rouge. But I believe he's leaning toward that. As a matter of fact, we reported earlier today at LouisianaSports.net that Blake Baker was on the phone this morning with Lane Kiffin and Richard Anderson, five-star defensive tackle out of New Orleans, trying to make sure that they secure his signature on Wednesday in the early signing period. So something that's up in the air right now without a defensive line coach in play, and Frank Wilson's future still very much in doubt. More on that, though. So Blake Baker is continuing working for LSU. There's a lot of confidence around LSU that Blake Baker is going to stay. There's motivation to keep him there. There's confidence they'll be able to do that. They're willing to be financially competitive with whatever Tulane is willing to pay. Summerall was making 3. Maybe they go north of that. I don't know what those numbers will look like. I just know that LSU wants to keep Blake Baker, and they're finding ways to be competitive. For Blake Baker, he's really got a couple of decisions here. Do you want to try it? And he has said on the record so many times that he wants to be a head coach, and that's no surprise to anybody. But does he want to go the power 4 defensive coordinator to power 4 head coach route? Or do you want to go get your first head coaching job in a G6 and then hopefully springboard that into a power 4 job like we just saw John Summerall do? Now, that was Summerall's second job. He was at Troy, then Tulane. But if Baker goes to Tulane, which the last 2 coaches have been wildly successful there, with Fritz, who parlayed that into the Houston job, which remember now is in the Big 12, and Summerall now at Florida making $7.5 million a year after 2 years at Tulane. Blake Baker's walking into a situation where you have a really established, stable program, seemingly ready-made for success. His alma mater, he knows Louisiana. It's a lot of reasons he could have success there and springboard that into a major offer in a couple of years. Or does he stay put at LSU and try to go the route of Dan Lanning from Georgia to Oregon? Or Kirby Smart from Alabama to Georgia? There's so many examples of the Power 4 coordinators that have gotten major head coaching jobs. Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, Ryan Day at Ohio State, Sharon Moore at Michigan. Look, Dave Aranda did it. He went from LSU to Baylor. Now, Baylor's not a top 20 job in the country, maybe not even a top 30 job in the country, but is it somewhere in that top 40? You talk about the Power 4? Yeah, certainly it is. So Baker's just going to have to make that decision. And we all know the family dynamics there as well. Blake's wife played soccer at LSU. She's from the North Shore. So you're tap dancing all around it. But as I understand it, the Baker children, they're in school in Baton Rouge and love Baton Rouge, and they love LSU. And it would be amazing if Baker could stay. And certainly the thing that they could sell him is, look, the thing that frustrated you this year with having no offensive help, that will not be the case next year, where the defense would have to do everything because you're going to have Lane Kiffin's offense, and everywhere he goes, offense follows. So this is going to come down to, number one, does Tulane formally offer Blake Baker the job? And then if they do, does he want to be a head coach, or can LSU entice him to stay? It is worth noting, just something to keep an eye on with the Baker story. If he does go, I'm told he would likely bring with him Jake Olson and Kevin Peoples. Remember, those were assistants on his defensive staff at Missouri who came to Baton Rouge. So you would then, again, if Baker were to take the Tulane job, you'd be losing your defensive coordinator, your safeties coach, your edges coach, and we still don't know Kyle Williams' future, which is up in the air. I don't know if Kyle Williams is going to continue coaching collegiately. So you'd be losing at least 3, possibly 4 members of your defensive staff, in addition to the turnover offensively with Lane's staff coming in. So still a lot up in the air and unknown at that point. There's always the question of who's next, right? If Baker were to leave, and again, big, giant if, but sometimes the most obvious name is obvious for a reason. The name I would tell you is DJ Durkin. Was just the interim head coach at Auburn. Yeah, Durkin was, as I understand, very upset that he did not get the full-time job at Auburn, and was also on Lane Kiffin's staff for a couple of seasons during Kiffin's early years at Ole Miss as his defensive coordinator. So the relationship there, the experience in the SEC, good defensive mind, all of that stuff, that's one name worth keeping an eye on if you get to the point where Baker leaves LSU for Tulane. But as of right now, I think LSU is pretty confident that they're going to be able to keep Blake Baker here. But if Tulane offers him that job, I think we could all understand if he were to take it. So we'll continue to follow that as it plays out. Blake Baker's future, a little cloudy right now, whether he returns to LSU or gets his first head coaching job at his alma mater down in New Orleans. Okay, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. As a matter of fact, make sure you still find them all over town. Those officially licensed cans in 16-ounce aluminum bottles with the Tiger head logo, hat tip to LSU's tradition of wearing white at home. It's a white Bud Light can. Can't miss it. Or if you're at your favorite restaurant, bar, watering hole, whatever it is, make sure you ask for it by name. Drink plenty of delicious, ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. It has been an eventful day here on the eve of the early signing period. LSU has lost a commitment, gained a commitment, and arguably their biggest commitment is in limbo. We'll get to all that with Shea Dixon next here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Weird. It's like it was so good I had to say it twice. Hey, look, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property is Watermark Baton Rouge. Downtown Baton Rouge, there on 3rd Street, the picture of luxury. You walk in and you see all the beautiful marble, all the history of that building, which just celebrated its centennial. The building's been around for 100 years now. The original high-rise in downtown Baton Rouge, which is the old Louisiana National Bank building, which is now Watermark Baton Rouge. From the plush, luxurious guest rooms to the Gregory, the restaurant right there in the lobby of Watermark Baton Rouge, all the way throughout. You go down the staircase underneath the lobby there, and you'll see all the old bank vaults, which have been hollowed out into beautiful meeting rooms for private dining spaces. It's Watermark Baton Rouge. Experience it today in downtown. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
I'm glad you're with us. We always appreciate our friends at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Learn more at sunequip.com. Sunequip.com. Newest location going up right there on Pico in Baton Rouge. Excited. Get to pass it every day on my way home. Excited for that thing to open up. All right, we got Shea Dixon coming up here in just a quick second from On3. One quick note that we are reporting over at LouisianaSports.net. And remember, always, you can get everything free over at LouisianaSports.net. There's a few more staff additions that are coming to Baton Rouge from Ole Miss. These are support staff members. I learned today that 3 support staff members, Lou Spanos, who's a defensive analyst, Dane Stevens, who's an offensive pass game analyst, and Donnie Both, who is an offensive analyst. Those 3 have joined Lane Kiffin's support staff in Baton Rouge. They are here at Football Ops now. So, I don't know like at this literal very minute, but they're in Baton Rouge. So they are joining Lane Kiffin's support staff. So he continues to build not only his on-field staff, but his support staff. And as we know and learn more, we'll keep you posted. And as always, you can check out all this news over at louisianasports.net. You want Cruton news, you want Shea Dixon, On3 the Bengal Tiger, of course, part of the Rivals Network there as well. Shea's with us as he is every Tuesday. Shady, how are you, man? Let's just call him. Let's call him. Okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's okay. Just call him. All right. There's a lot I want to talk about with Shea because LSU gained a commitment. They flipped a tight end from Ole Miss. They lost a commitment in offensive lineman Jalen Chapman from Warren Easton in New Orleans. He's been committed for more than a year, since the summer of 24. So like a year and a half he's been committed. And it feels like that's an example of maybe he was the lowest rated prospect in the class, and maybe an example of a guy being purged out of the class. You hate to say it that way, but it kind of feels like that's what's happening here. And then there's a big question around Richard Anderson right now as well. Okay, we have Shea. Shady, how are you, man?
I am busy on this early signing period. The NCAA. If people want to get mad right now, we're all about to talk about be mad at the NCAA because this calendar of a December 3rd signing period for high school kids, when you hire a head coach right when the season ends, gives you about 3 days, and a new staff has a vision of what they want, and the old staff has a vision of what they set up, and those are not always going to line up.
I think that's pretty evident based on what's happened here just in the last few hours. Okay, let's start, if we could, Shea, with tight end J.C. Anderson. So this is the first flip of the Lane Kiffin, or the first commitment of the Lane Kiffin era. What can you tell us about J.C. Anderson?
Yeah, he is a 4-star tight end, a guy that had been committed to Ole Miss. Co-offensive coordinator, tight ends coach Joe Cox had been spearheading that. Charlie Weiss was a secondary recruiter there as well. And it became evident he's from Illinois, right when that staff change happened, those guys left. He said, hey, if I've got a spot at LSU, get down there, let me know. They did. They made everything work. They got paperwork over to him to sign tomorrow, so he went ahead and made the flip official. So a very much a need position, 6'6", 230, ranked as the number 11 tight end in the country on the Rivals industry rankings. So the first commitment of the Lane Kiffin era, no shocker, is a flip from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I anticipate we'll probably see more of these in the coming, certainly the coming days and weeks. Let me ask about Jalen Chapman, who was the lowest rated prospect in the LSU class. And Shea, I can't help but think about what we heard Lane Kiffin say on Monday, where he said they weren't just going to take guys because they went to a certain school, and they weren't going to take guys just to take guys. It feels like this is a purge. What can you tell us about what happened here with Chapman?
I think it's just a situation, Matt, where the new staff comes in, evaluates the commitment list, and says this is probably best for both parties if we go in different directions. And the timing of it, obviously, the day before a 3-day window of an early signing period is a bit unfortunate. There is the February signing period, but this is the kind of stuff that happens each year, even if there's not a coaching change. We see kind of late ads and attrition happen. But when you do have a coaching change and you've brought with it, so far, as you just noted, not just on-field staffers, off-field staffers, all of them are going to have a view of what they want this recruiting class to look like. So things are moving very quickly, and a lot of these guys are being informed of this right now, within 24 hours of, expecting to sign with LSU.
And as I noticed here, literally since we started the show, Shea, there's another one in wide receiver Kenny Darby. This one surprises me as a really highly rated guy. What can you tell us that what you know about Kenny Darby's decommitment?
This was another one where the new staff just said, hey, look, we're going to go in a different direction. And Kenny Darby had been shut down his recruitment multiple times. He had Bama and many others interested in him over the summer. He had stood firm with his commitment. And we can talk about this. There's a wave of receivers that I do think they add here. So the decision to not sign Kenny Darby and in turn Kenny Darby have to reopen his process will lead to him. And he's got some other options. He found out about things, and quickly coaches have reached out. So he'll find a landing spot, but it will not be at LSU, which we did not anticipate before today. And I can say the same for a lot of what's going on. And I can tell you, Matt, I haven't experienced this where you have a staff change, because it wasn't like that with Orgeron. It was really a continuation of the staff with some guys let go. At least on offense, this is more wholesale. We don't know the future of the defensive staff, and you've got opinions, rightfully so, right? You've hired Lane Kiffin. You've allowed him to hire a staff. Those guys get to make the decisions now. So we're just seeing I don't want to call it the fallout, but the results of those decisions playing out right before signing day, which is just not something you're used to. So I said it earlier this week. I got a feeling that the signing class was going to look a lot different than it did to start the week, and that's very much proving to be the case here.
Okay, Shea, you did, and Shea Dixon's with us on 3, the Bengal Tiger, of course, part of the Rivals Network there. Get him at Shea Dixon. You mentioned receivers, so Darby out. What are we anticipating here?
I would look for twofold. One, Braden Allen, who is a Louisiana receiver that decommitted from Oklahoma, had gotten an offer from the prior staff, and they had set everything up. He went up on Sunday with his family, met with Lane Kiffin. I do think that they're going to sign him. At the same time, I would expect them to go ahead and push to sign another player who had been very much kind of high on the Ole Miss board. And let me grab his name real quick. We're all over the place.
I understand. Take your time. You're good.
Yeah, let's see. Where are we here? That's not him. It is. Sorry for the delay,
no,
but that's
good.
what happens in recruiting and in real time here. Corey Barber. So Corey Barber is a 4-star receiver. He's out of Alabama. He's a Spain Park kid, which is a pretty notable school over in Clay Chalkville in that Pinson area. He had been committed to Ole Miss. He decommitted as soon as the staff changes happened. He is top 30 receiver, top 10 player in Alabama. Rivals has him right on the cusp of being a top 150 player overall in the country. We've got him as a top 20 receiver. So really good player. Ole Miss views him as that. So Ole Miss says, all right, decommit, come down here. All the NIL rev share that we could have agreed to then at Ole Miss, we can do that here for you. And they quickly have put together paperwork to send to guys like him, to send to guys like J.C. Anderson, who already announced his flip. So, yes, I would expect that Corey Barber would be another receiver they add to this class. And they are starting this new staff to go back to some receivers that LSU had been recruiting in the past. So do we see them able to kind of get guys to delay their decisions, pull off midnight flips? Like, all of this is a reality right now. And I think that by the not even hour, by the minute right now, we are finding out who is going to be in LSU's class and not. And it's kind of Matt, this is the nature of doing business. And it sucks for the guys who aren't able to sign. And then you kind of have to get used to who are these guys that we haven't even been talking about because LSU didn't recruit them. But this isn't the old LSU staff. This is the Ole Miss staff. And from talking to people around LSU, Matt, who have ties to how everything's unfolding, the opinion is we gave Lane Kiffin the keys. It's his decision. Whatever he and this staff see fit, that's what's going to unfold here for signing day.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, at Shea Dixon. Let me ask you about Richard Anderson, and this might be a bigger picture question about Frank Wilson, but we reported earlier today that Anderson had a phone call with Blake Baker and Lane Kiffin, and that he, with his representation, had decided to delay his announcement until he knows who his position coach is going to be and if Frank Wilson's going to be on staff. Is there anything further that you can tell us as this day has developed about Richard Anderson's status and what may happen tomorrow?
Yeah, look, so we're in a dead period, so recruits can't go face-to-face. He didn't get a chance to meet with Lane on Sunday when Lane arrived. But other people, look, there's agents involved, but it's very well known. Bryce Brown is one of the most recognizable head coaches in high school football in Louisiana. He's been a long-time Edna Carr coach. He's got a lot of connections in New Orleans, a lot of kids on LSU's team right now, but also multiple commits to LSU. You've got Richard Anderson, the number 1 D lineman, a 5-star on Rivals, one of LSU's commits. You've also got Aiden Hall, who's a 4-star safety committed. What does the future hold for Aiden Hall? That's a question to add to the whole thing with what happens with Richard Anderson. And yes, I do think it centers around them wanting to know, A, who is the position coach? Can you give us any indication? B, what does the future hold for Frank Wilson, who more or less spearheaded the recruitment of New Orleans kids who are coming out of schools like Carr and Ogg? And all of these are fair questions to ask. I just don't know if Kiffin will be able to give them those answers. So it's fluid right now. Like, I do believe Richard Anderson wants to play at LSU, but there's also this reality that things have changed staff-wise from where they were before, and how does that change his approach to it? Because, look, Frank's the interim head coach. That's through the bowl game. Well, Matt, what happens in January if Frank gets let go? Does that impact current players because the portal's about to open? Does that impact the recruits you're signing right now, who then might immediately hit the portal? I think that Edna Carr, Bryce Brown, the people around them, their parents are just trying to avoid any more hurdles that could be put in place for their sons. So that going for, deep conversations with Lane, any conversation about, hey, where are we at? What does the future hold? And what should we do here? Because if not, we are going to need to delay this until we have more answers. And I think it's fair for both sides. Like I said, it's just the situation we're in. When you're hiring a new staff, you haven't publicly fired anyone from the old staff. Those guys are still in the ops building working too. And sort of simultaneously, you're putting together a signing class of the Ole Miss staff and who they want and have been recruiting, and then the LSU staff who has put together this class from the start.
Yeah. Shea, when the dust settles, we'll have to have you back, and we could talk more about how, what the ideal situation is to fix this sort of mess, or is this just going to be a part of it? But in the meantime, I know it's very fluid. We appreciate you for taking a couple of minutes. As always, make sure you get by On3, a part of the Rivals Network there, On3 the Bengal Tiger, and check out Shea here with signing day, the early signing period, opening up on Wednesday. Thank you, Shea.
I appreciate you having me on, Matt.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Supper Club. Actually got an invite today from a great client that invited Erica and me to their Christmas party over at Supper Club. So, listen, if you want to have your Christmas party, I don't know, see if it's getting closer. It might be harder to reserve the space. But no matter if you want the little lounge area by the bar, if there's the private room, if there's a section of the restaurant that you want to have reserved, or if you want to reserve the entire restaurant, that's a thing they can do as well. If you have, I'm sure you'd have a person minimum that you'd have to meet, and so on. But you have a party you want to have, Supper Club, there's no better place, because it is the place to celebrate and have the greatest meal that you'll ever have. And look, they're back open today, Tuesday to Saturday. It's about 5 o'clock, about 90 minutes away. They'll be opening up the doors right there on Perkins Road. Always tell you, open seating at the bar. Look, you want to get a reservation to celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a promotion, graduation, any great life event, have family coming in for Christmas around the holiday season. Supper Club is a great place to go have an amazing night out. It's a great place just to go tonight, have a glass of wine, and have dinner at the bar. Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Our Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. It's a very fluid day as we learn more about LSU's coaching staff, about the signing class as we move toward the early signing period tomorrow. We'll continue to keep you posted. Again, everything is up online at louisianasports.net. Always free, no paywalls, no article limits, no freemium, none of that sort of stuff. So check it out over at louisianasports.net, bookmark it, and share it out there. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll continue next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by our friends over at Glow Resources, glowresources.com, where they are complete employer solutions. They work for you, the business owner. As we move toward the end of 2025 into 2026, if you're thinking about how you can make your business more efficient, how you can improve your bottom line, well, you know this, if you run a business. And that's who we're talking to. We're talking to you, the business owner, the operations manager, the CEO, the vice president. If you're in operations, you're running a business, any size business, the right people are what make you the most efficient and the most profitable. So when it comes to getting the right people, if that inefficiency is costing you money, why not get it right the first time instead of having so much turnover in your organization? Let Glow Resources help. They'll cast their net far and wide to find the perfect person for your job that will stay. It's Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
I'm lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, I make a little room and she climbs on up. I open
Tell you how wild this weekend was. I think for the first time in my adult life, I did not watch the New Orleans Saints play football on a Sunday. I think I casually passed by the TV a few times. I saw the Irish kicker made a 56-yarder. I saw Chris Olave catch a touchdown. I saw Devon Vele recover an onside kick. That's the extent of my knowledge of the game. It has been, y'all, I'm just being very candid with you. It has been a wild 6 weeks. Like you have those days where, and I'm not complaining, by the way, at all. I'm just trying to be relatable. Like, sometimes there's days where if you don't sleep much, you're tired. Like, you get so tired, you're nauseous. That's how I felt last night. Like, it's been a lot. Because the news cycle hasn't stopped for 6 weeks, from Brian Kelly being fired to the stuff with the governor to then the stuff with the president, and then Verge being placed as the full-time coach, and then you're getting back to games while the search was going on, and then Layla's here, and then all the everything. It's just been a continuous news cycle that hasn't really stopped. And you thought after Lane Kiffin was introduced, it would slow. Well, now there's all the stuff about the staff and about signing day. And if you missed Shea Dixon just a moment ago, expect more flips. It certainly sounds like Jalen Chapman, Kenny Darby, the two LSU commitments today who have flipped who have decommitted. It sounds like they were purged. Now, I hate that because they're guys who have been long committed to LSU. But the thing that I like about the early signing period, I'm not saying it has to be December the 3rd, but the thing I like about the December signing period is I've always said this, it makes both the school and the prospect show their cards. Like, are you actually loyal to this player? Now, this is different because you have a coaching change. But the point being is Kenny Darby and Jalen Chapman now, while they may not sign with anybody on Wednesday, now they have time, as opposed to the old way, where it was just the February signing period, where now you have time until the February signing period, or even if you're going to enroll somewhere for the spring semester, if you're an early enrollee, you can take all of December and into January. You can take the next 4 weeks to visit schools, to see what options are out there for you, and then enroll somewhere and sign your financial aid agreement and be enrolled somewhere for the spring semester and go through spring football at wherever you're going to sign. That's the benefit. Now, December 3rd makes it challenging as we go through the hiring cycle and everything going on, but that's one instance where the early signing period does, in fact, work to its desired outcome. Is it's going to give those guys opportunities, whereas in the old system, if a guy was committed and went all the way up to signing day, and the day before signing day in February, the school that he was committed to says, sorry, we don't have a spot, and they had shut down their recruitment, well, now you're SOL. That's one good thing about it. But apparently buckle up, because as according to Shea, there's more to come. Guys from the Ole Miss class that you're anticipating flipping into the LSU class, and potentially even more LSU guys that will be purged out of this class. We'll see how it goes. And as it transpires, we'll keep you up to date right here. Okay. It's After Further Review. We are brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. You always go to the website, get the weekly ad so you can see all the specials. Listen, I mean, it's the holidays. Holidays are expensive. Not only you have parties, people coming over, all that stuff. If you're buying gifts for coworkers and family and everything like that, the holidays are expensive. Maybe you need to buy on a budget. Go to Rouse's.com, hit the weekly ad tab, and you can make sure that you save over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Look, it's Tuesday. It's Sushi Tuesday. It's $5 Sushi Tuesday today and every Tuesday over at Rouse's. So swing on in on your way home, pick up some sushi for the entire family at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky has hired Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein as their next head coach. He's from Louisville, so he's got deep ties to the state of Kentucky. He began his playing career with the Cardinals, but they're at Louisville, but grew up actually a Wildcat fan, as it says. But he'll replace Mark Stoops, who is Kentucky's all-time winningest coach, who was fired Sunday after 13 seasons with the Wildcats.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Defensive lineman Jamal Wallace will enter the transfer portal. That's per his agency, A&P Sports, making that announcement on Monday. He is Kansas City native, 2 seasons at Sierra College in California before signing with Tennessee in 2024.
The Florida Gators.
Florida is expected to hire Brad White as John Sumrall's defensive coordinator there in Gainesville. Matt Zenitz had it first. White spent 6 years with the Indianapolis Colts before lining there with Kentucky. Spent 7 years there as Kentucky's defensive coordinator under Mark Stoops. Sumrall coached Kentucky's inside linebackers under White, by the way, when he was on staff there, and was the co-DC from 2019 to 2021.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
So this is an interesting one. Rivals reported that 5-star quarterback Jared Curtis out of Nashville flipped from Georgia to Vanderbilt. You heard that right. 5-star quarterback flipped from Georgia to Vanderbilt, the number 2 prospect in the country. 6'3", 225, been committed to Georgia since May. Well, Curtis goes to social media and refutes the report. But all indications apparently are pointed to the Commodores. We'll see how it lands.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama added edge Malik Franklin to the 2026 class. He's a 3-star out of Daphne, Alabama, 6'5", 250, the number 51 edge in the country. He's the 24th commit for the 2026 class.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Arkansas landed in-state 4-star Anthony Kennedy Jr. out of Little Rock. He's a 4-star defensive lineman. 6'3", 334. Big old dude. He committed to Miami back in June, the 37th defensive lineman in the country. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Of course, all your farm equipment, plus zero-turn mowers, gators. Check them out. Sunequip.com. Sunequip.com. And they got John Deere toys as well for the kiddos this holiday. Give them a little toy tractor, a little riding tractor as well for the kiddos. Great toys to be put under the Christmas tree this Christmas morning from Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. All right, let me knock out a break, y'all. Final break of hour number 1. Peter Burns in 13 minutes. I do want Peter's thoughts on the Lane saga, but also as the coaching carousel has stopped spinning now in the Southeastern Conference, I want to get his impression on how everything has fallen. We'll do that coming up here after the top of the hour on AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorney. Saw Gordon yesterday at the Lane Kiffin press conference. Great supporter of Tiger Athletics. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Want to find out more about all the NIL deals that Gordon does? You can do that. We're a week away from finding out the winners of the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys bike giveaway. Gordon's giving away 600 free bicycles, and in 9 days, we will be at Gordon's office on December the 11th for the bike giveaway. Now, he's going to have the giveaways all over the state, so it doesn't matter in what part of Louisiana you live. You can register, so go to gordonsbikes.com, gordonsbikes.com, or at Get Gordon on any of the social media. Look for the free 600 free bike giveaway post, and you'll see how you can enter to win one of those. Gordon's trying to brighten up the holidays for 600 less fortunate children around Louisiana, and what an awesome thing to do. And we're happy to be a small part of it coming up on December the 11th. Get Gordon and get it done.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator with
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
I can sum it up by saying this place is different. And having watched this place for a long time, having been on the other sidelines in this stadium, this place is different. And that's why we're here. We have a lot of work to do with that. But I'm very grateful for the opportunity to lead one of the elite programs in all of sports.
As LSU coach Lane Kiffin, of course, introduced on Monday, and we are continuing to follow a pretty chaotic first couple of days here for Lane Kiffin as the LSU coach, as he tries to – this is no fault of his own or literally any coach. It's not just Lane Kiffin. It's going to be all of these coaches who are in new spots. It's going to be the same for John Summerall at Florida and Alex Golish at Auburn and Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas and literally all of these coaches now taking – new jobs this weekend and having to hurriedly get on board and have a signing class and all this stuff that's going to happen. Shea Dixon from On3 was with us just a bit ago and said, look, you're going to expect more receiver flips coming. Kenny Darby has decommitted from LSU. That sounds like that was a purge. Someone that the Lane Kiffin and his staff came in and that it's probably best if you look elsewhere. Another receiver committed to LSU is no longer committed to LSU. This just some breaking news here just minutes ago. Kervin Johnson, the 3-star wide receiver, not only has decommitted from LSU, he has flipped to Ole Miss. So he's now committed to Pete Golding and the Ole Miss Rebels. Kervin Johnson was the second lowest rated player in LSU's class. I don't mean for that to any way be disrespectful or dismissive, but the two lowest rated prospects in LSU's class coming into the day with Jalen Chapman and now with Kervin Johnson are no longer committed to LSU. And Lane Kiffin, when he met with reporters at his press conference, when he was talking about building a roster, I don't know that I want the full 44 seconds, but it's number 20. This is Lane talking about signing day, and they're planning to build a roster.
That was the number one priority and is the number one priority right now. It goes dead where we can't go out right now. Yesterday, people could come up to the office. So that is our number one focus right now, is to sign the best class that we possibly can Wednesday. Also, we have big picture thinking too. So we're not reaching or we're not signing kids because they're from this school or that school or any of that stuff, okay? We're going to sign the best players that we can on Wednesday.
We're not reaching. We're not signing kids because they're from this school or that school. And it's pretty obvious here what's going on there, right? So They've come in, they've evaluated the commits, and they're making decisions about who is going to be in this class and who's not, and it's their prerogative to do it, but expect it to be tumultuous. So you've added 4-star tight end J.C. Anderson, and then the 2 lowest rated commitments in the class are now out, along with Kenny Darby, and we are expecting there will be more additions come Wednesday. So buckle up. It's going to be fascinating theater to watch. We are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. You ever stand by a window during the cold weather months and you can just feel that draft? That's because you have costly air leaks. You want to eliminate those costly air leaks? Custom windows measured to the exact specification of your home from Relief Windows. That comes with a lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. They're just the best. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Check them out online, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, we're going to knock out an hour, a break here. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Peter Burns of the SEC Network here to kick off hour 2 next.
After further review.
And make sure you check out our friends over at Parish Restoration if you haven't yet. This is a great time of year. So often when we talk about Parish Restoration, we're talking about it in terms of remediation, right? So you have water intrusion, you have mold. That's certainly a great way that they go about helping people, either at your home or your business. But it's so much more than that. It's sanitization as well. Parish Restoration, their patented non-toxic dry fog, can knock out dozens of harmful pathogens. So not only will it kill mold, not only will it remove odor, but it can also sanitize. So if you have flu going around the office or COVID or something along those lines, or your home, they can come in, spray, it'll kill everything down to the spores. Dozens of harmful pathogens. It's more cost-effective, it's more effective, it's more efficient. It's Parish Restoration. So go to parishrestoration.com and just fill out the form on the homepage. Parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com. Just fill out the form at the homepage.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. This just in. Fifth-ranked Texas Tech football coach Joey McGuire agreeing to a new 7-year deal, an average of $7 million a year. 2 days after the fire Tomlin chants could be heard during the Steelers' home loss, Coach Mike Tomlin did not criticize those calling for his job, said he shares the fans' frustration, knows the last performance not up to the standard. Do not expect the team, though, to show Tomlin the door after this season, says ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers firing Mike Tomlin. He's earned too much respect and accomplished too much to be fired the way that some NFL head coaches are fired after it doesn't work out after a few years. Why would you fire Mike Tomlin? That's not the way that organization's operated ever.
Adam Schefter on Unsportsmanlike. The Steelers claimed former Vikings receiver Adam Thielen off waivers and waived corner Darius Slay. Team also signed corner Asante Samuel Jr. to the active roster from the practice squad. NBA Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson will miss at least 3 weeks with a right adductor injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you which fan bases should be panicking as we head into Week 14 of the NFL season. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Miss Peter Burns yesterday, but he's good enough to join us today. Let's do it.
This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network, presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
Yo, man, how are you?
Isn't that intro just the perfect tying together all of these storylines?
Yes.
Like me, the LSU fan, Lane coming from Oxford and Ole Miss, where Blue Delta Blue Jeans was founded, and it's the call about the Florida Gators. I mean, this is like the holy trinity of this storyline. Hello, sir.
You shouldn't have mentioned Blue Delta from Ole Miss. You just tanked their stock in Baton Rouge, unfortunately.
They'll be fine.
They'll be great. They're great jeans, by the way. You should check them out if you don't have any Blue Delta jeans. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Okay, I want to ask you about all of the coaching cycle stuff in the SEC, but let me just first get your reaction to Lane stuff, how it all transpired, all that good stuff. You good with it?
I mean, as an LSU fan, I don't care. I mean, there's a couple different answers here, right? As an LSU fan, and I said that on SportsCenter yesterday, I'm like, not only did you beat Florida on the field, but you beat them off the field for the Lane sweepstakes, so that's one. And then you got to probably be happy of how the way Lane left everything in Oxford, which was probably not the greatest part. But then again, things change quickly. And I said that on my show on Monday, Matt, that I wouldn't be surprised if there was a route for some of those guys to go back and find a happy median of letting Ole Miss, coach with some of their coaches and assistants for a playoff run and still have Lane as the head coach. And I kind of wonder if that could have been handled in a different way. But you can't put the genie back in the bottle now, and now we'll see how Ole Miss does, and LSU got their guy.
They are going to let Charlie Weiss go coach the playoff. It feels a little contradictory, right? That they couldn't let Lane coach his team, but they're going to let Weiss coach the team?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's even bigger picture of all right, what's the optics of having your head coach be there and having a play caller or assistants and what you're kind of robbing of that crew. And I credit Lane for doing it. I credit for Keith Carter and those guys who are trying to find a happy medium. And I think that's where I kind of go back in this whole thing of like, hey, was there a different way to kind of handle this even a month ago? And might have this been the solution, but listen, none of it's going to be easy, right? Like I don't know how many people get divorced and say, man, that was just awesome. Like, man, everybody ended up being great. There's going to be some casualties on it, and I think as an LSU fan, you don't give a flying you know what, because you got your guy, and now the expectations are you've got arguably the most creative offensive mind in all of college football, paired with hopefully one of the best defensive coordinators in Blake Baker. And sky's the limit, and now go out there and make the college football playoffs, get back to Atlanta, and win some damn natties.
PB, take Lane Kiffin out of it. Amazingly, there was no turnover a year ago in the SEC among head coaches. Almost half the league turned over this year. So who is the best hire?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that, Lane ends up being the bell of the ball. So I think everybody's, we're going to look at that as
take Lane out. Yeah, take Lane out of it. That's
the fact of, and listen, I can't stand the winning the press conference. I hate the whole winning the press conference thing is such a BS deal.
Who has never not done that? Right.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple. Remember Adam Gase with the Jets when he looked like he was just like high off helium and like he was got all bug-eyed? That was a weird one. But I love the idea of Alex Golesh over at Auburn. In fact, I should say I don't love it because I'm an LSU fan. But that high-powered offense, they've got some playmakers depending on what they do on defense. And I know they had to pivot early because I think that's why the dominoes of this were so crazy. So I think Golesh at Auburn is very interesting, and I'm curious about Summerall. The more and more I talk to Doring, I know the Florida fan base was just in absolute, just shambles when Lane decided he was going to come down to the 225. And the more people that talk about it are like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a group of five coach, but this is a completely different demeanor in Summerall than you had with Billy Napier. With Billy, and I love Billy, but Billy, you couldn't tell if he won the lottery or his dog died. And that was a problem with the Florida Gators. When things weren't going well, he was almost too even killed. And I think Summerall, as you saw it with Tulane, he's a fiery guy, so I'm curious how that works out.
Go the other way. Who bombed their hire?
I think just people don't understand Ryan Silverfield beating Memphis or Memphis beating Arkansas, and then you decide, all right, this is the guy. And they might have had to pivot because the Golesh was probably in the bag. And that's why, all of this is a musical chairs. And all of a sudden, boom, when Lane decided, the music stopped. Everybody had to find somebody within 12 hours. And, Sexton, I'm sure, created that market. And I think that's probably the biggest one. But it's still not as big of a disaster as what's happening at Penn State right now. Penn State was one of the most looked at jobs. It's in the Big Ten. It's got pedigree. It's got facilities. It's got money. And now they just whiffed on this coach. And now where the hell do they go?
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
It was the first one open, PB. It's amazing the first job open is still open
right
now. Peter Burns, SEC Network, at Peter Burns, ESPN. Brought to you by Blue Delta Jeans. Last thing is I know you got to go. What do you make of what Ole Miss did promoting Pete Golding?
I think they had to make a move quickly, and it's a matter of, hey, who can you put in that position that's not going to, fly the coop and go different directions? And I think if you would have asked this question, on the boat with Lane Kiffin a couple of months ago, he probably would have said, yeah, man, I would have loved to take a different job. And I want Pete, who's my boy, to have an opportunity to be a head coach. And so it probably worked out well for Pete. How it works well, I'm curious to see the College Football Playoff Committee. And my biggest question, I don't know, you haven't had Lane on, but, can you please ask him about Juice Kiffin? Because I'm so curious. Like, does Juice live with Pete Golden? Did he ever live with Lane Kiffin? Was this kind of like just a marketing deal? Like,
Are people suggesting that that's not really his dog?
Oh, buddy. I'm not sure it was.
Okay.
Are you not familiar with this? Maybe I'm way too plugged in on some different things, but like you can't mess with dog emotions. Like,
I feel like I've loosely heard in the last day that there's people alleging that Juice is not actually Lane's dog. So are we saying that Juice doesn't exist, or it's just not his dog?
No, I don't think this is like an AI version of a dog. I think there's definitely a dog.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily. I think we were led to believe that it might have been his, and I'm not sure if that's the case. Might want to follow up on that.
All right, I'll put on my Sherlock Holmes hat. Why not? I actually was tweeting about a plane picking up a dog from the airport last week. So what the hell? I mean, I guess why not? If I was doing flight trackers picking up hunting dogs, I guess I can find out about Juice Kiffin. Got a good Twitter following. All right, Peter Burns, SEC Network. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Later, dude. It's interesting that he said Golish he thought was the best hire. And listen, I cannot sit here and tell you that I know a ton about Alex Golish. Now, I know Golish was the OC at Tennessee under Heupel, but that's Heupel's offense, right? We all assume that. He went to South Florida and had a lot of offensive success there and team success in a short window of a couple of years. But throughout all of this process, I do know that over the weekend, Saturday, when Lane Kiffin, in that 4-hour meeting, at that point made it clear like he's leaving and that was it. Ole Miss at that point was like, all right, well, what do we do now? Which is terrible planning by Keith Carter. I know Ole Miss fans are going to hate Kiffin forever and raise up Keith Carter in this and make him the martyr, but Keith Carter did a terrible job in this. You can be a nice guy, a smart guy, and you can botch a situation. He botched this because he didn't have a backup because he failed to recognize that Lane was leaving. And so they were, as I was told, they were going to pivot to Golish, and several high-level boosters at Ole Miss were like, yeah, we're not in on that piece, deuces. Good luck to you. And so that's when they moved to promote Pete Golding. And it feels very much like the Zach Arnett thing at Mississippi State. Now, a different scenario because, of course, there was a tragic situation with Mike Leach who suddenly and tragically died. And the way they structured Arnett's contract was that it really was a one-year deal. It was, we're going to put you in place. There's going to be no buyout. We're going to be able to get out of this if we need to, but you're going to be the head coach for a year and allow them to assess later, which they've done, I think, a pretty good job. I think Jeff Lebby has that thing clearly going in the right direction. But it kind of feels like that here with Pete Golding as well. Now, we'll see what the terms of the deal are, buyout, all that stuff. But they got left in a lurch because Keith Carter did a terrible job. He did a terrible job of planning, of having his plan B and C and D ready to roll because he just kept thinking he was going to be able to convince Lane Kiffin to stay, which was never happening. Anyway. All right, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Check out our friends over at South Point Volkswagen, y'all. You can test drive a Volkswagen today. Volkswagen deal days going on. How about 0% on 2025 Taos S? 0.9% on Atlas for 60 months. Holy moly. Test drive that Cross Sport. The Atlas is the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. The Cross Sport just takes out the third row. That's the vehicle I drive. All the great style, feel, performance of luxury, the safety features, and right now a sign and drive going on. 0 down, 0 security deposit, no first month's payment. I mean, you sign your name, you're driving away in a brand new vehicle from South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, y'all, it's after further review, and glad to have you hanging out with us here on a busy sort of rapid-fire day. I do want to touch also on the latest with Frank Wilson we'll get to, and I do have to get to some Saints news as well, as the Saints are off. Today's Tuesday, so it's an off day in the NFL, but we didn't get to the Saints recap of the game against the Miami Dolphins, and then Kellen Moore meeting with reporters on Monday. So we still have a lot to get to here throughout the course of the show today. But let me knock out a break. We come back. We opened the show today kind of with an update on the Blake Baker situation. I do want to talk about Frank Wilson. We'll do that when we come back here on AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. 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 Y'all, I practice what I preach on this one. I'm telling y'all, man, at Parrish Construction and Roofing, we are Rev customers. Here at Guarantee Media, we are Rev customers. More than 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. 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 Listen, we're talking about high-speed internet, 90 years of local service, an all-fiber network, up to 5 gigs. So you get 5 gigs and the reliability of fiber, along with the legacy of 90 years of local service. Yo, Rev has you covered. Amazing people all over South Louisiana. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. Switch today. Let'sRev.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Or just tilt.
She's even kind of crazy about my farmer's tan. She's the only one who really understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
I'm going to give you the latest on Frank Wilson here in just a quick second. Listen, if you were here an hour ago, Shea Dixon was with us, and he told you to be prepared because there were going to be a lot more flips incoming, and he was right. So, by the way, breaking news, let me get to this first. So, Hayes Fawcett, others have this. Ryan Moret, he's an offensive lineman, elite offensive lineman out of Miami, 6'4", 300 pounds, had been committed to Ole Miss since June. Ryan Moret has flipped from Ole Miss to LSU. Again, Hayes Fawcett has this per Ryan Moret. So Tigers pick up a big offensive lineman, the second Ole Miss commit to flip to LSU today. And as Shea told us earlier, expect there to be more. If you're keeping up with this, we do have over at LouisianaSports.net a recruiting tracker. It's live. It's right at the top of the homepage. So if you go to LouisianaSports.net, again, everything there is always free. No article limits, no paywalls, nothing. Right there, the very first thing you'll see is the live recruiting tracker. So as you scroll, as any new commitment comes in or a decommitment happens, we'll follow it there for you. So just to kind of catch you up on the day if you've missed it, 4-star tight end J.C. Anderson was the first to flip from Ole Miss to LSU, and then now Ryan Moret. So 2 Ole Miss prospects have flipped to LSU today. The decommitments out of LSU's class, wide receiver Kenny Darby out of Bossier, he is decommitted. Shea told us this is one of those things with Darby, also with Jalen Chapman, the interior offensive lineman, and wide receiver Kervin Johnson. By the way, Kervin Johnson has flipped from LSU to Ole Miss. The other two, Darby and Chapman, have both decommitted but have not announced where they're headed. These are all instances, as Shea told us, where LSU's new staff, Lane Kiffin's staff, came in and they're assessing the LSU class and making decisions on who they want to keep in this class, who they do not. And similarly, there are prospects that they had committed to Ole Miss, seeing who might be interested in coming to LSU. So expect there to be more. But that recruiting tracker is live up at LouisianaSports.net. So bookmark that. You'll want it for the rest of the day today, and I'm sure all day tomorrow as well. It's all there at LouisianaSports.net. All right, it's after further review. Let me update you on Frank Wilson and everything going on there. So I think aside from Blake Baker, the most important staffer that we still need to discuss is Frank Wilson and what's going to happen there. And I know there's a lot of people, obviously, if you're an LSU fan, by the nature of the fact you're listening or watching, I assume you are. Frank Wilson is beloved, right? I mean, he's New Orleans area legend. We all know he's multiple stints now here at LSU. Not only is he a running backs coach, but he's also your recruiting coordinator, your interim head coach. Lane Kiffin said on Monday that Frank will coach the team in the bowl game as the interim head coach. He'll remain in that role. And Frank has a history with Lane Kiffin. Remember, Frank was on Lane Kiffin's staff at Tennessee in 2009. Did not go with Lane to USC. Instead, came to LSU to join Les Miles' staff in 2010, where he was until he got the head coaching job at UTSA. Then went UTSA, McNeese, and back to LSU. Well, Frank has such an important role at LSU, not only as the New Orleans area recruiter, but as the recruiting coordinator. And I'll give Frank a tremendous amount of credit. A giant reason why after Brian Kelly was fired, you did not have a single opt-out, and you kept this recruiting class together was Frank. And he's the guy that has those relationships. We played the soundbite for you, if you remember, when he described Harlem Berry's development. He talked about his grandfather is in a jazz band, and his mom was a track athlete, and basically talking in great detail about not only his parents, but the extended family, right? I mean, Frank has real interpersonal relationships with all these people. It's one of the reasons he's a phenomenal recruiter and has been his whole career. So naturally, you'd think there's value in keeping that guy, but it's complicated because Lane Kiffin has a great relationship with his running backs coach, Kevin Smith. So Kevin Smith, you might remember, was a running back at UCF. Was a very good collegiate running back, then was drafted by the Detroit Lions, had a good NFL career. Well, Kevin Smith joined Lane Kiffin's staff at FAU. So he was with Lane for 3 years at FAU and then has been with him at Ole Miss for 6. So they've been together for 9 years. It's a decade here together that Kevin Smith has been on Lane Kiffin's staff. Kevin's son and Knox Kiffin were teammates at Oxford High, where Knox was a quarterback. Kevin Smith's son was a receiver, as I understand. So their families are very close. And Kevin Smith did not get on the plane to Baton Rouge Sunday. And a lot of the thought was, look, if you got on the plane, you're leaving. And if you didn't get on the plane, you're staying. I mean, it felt like that was a pretty clear line of demarcation. But Lane Kiffin has not stopped trying to recruit Kevin Smith to Baton Rouge, and the offensive line coach there as well, Garrison is his name. And while, as I understand it, a day ago, John Garrison, the offensive line coach, and Kevin Smith were supposed to be on a plane to Baton Rouge with their wives. The two coaches did not come to Baton Rouge. They stayed in Oxford. But their two wives did make the trip to Baton Rouge, just to go on a fact-finding mission, kind of like what Layla Kiffin and Angela Kiffin did 2 weeks ago. I don't know how that went or if any decision has been made. But Lane is trying to get Kevin Smith to join the staff. And so then some people said, okay, well, that's fine. Well, if Frank can't coach running backs, let him coach something else. Well, George McDonald, Lane's wide receiver coach, has already come. And you don't really have another spot on staff. You say, well, make Frank an analyst. Well, remember, analysts can't recruit off campus. And Frank is not going to take an off-the-field role. That's just not going to happen. So how does this all play out? Not only is it important for Frank because of current guys on the roster like Harlan Berry, who's got a great relationship with, but also the signing class and recruiting in New Orleans. We reported at LouisianaSports.net this morning, and there was a phone call with Blake Baker, Lane Kiffin, Richard Anderson, and Richard Anderson's representatives this morning, Tuesday morning. And Richard Anderson has made the decision not to sign, at least as of this morning. He had made the decision not to sign with LSU on Wednesday. We're talking about the 5-star number 1 defensive lineman in the country out of Edna Carr in New Orleans. And the reason is because he doesn't know who his defensive line coach is going to be, and he doesn't know if Frank Wilson's going to be on the staff. Remember, 2 weeks ago, Richard Anderson took an official visit to the University of Texas, so he was in Austin a couple of weeks ago. So this further complicates this whole situation right now. As it pertains to Anderson specifically, and I spoke directly with someone who was on that call. As it relates to Anderson specifically, and we have all this whole story up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to read it, but as it relates to Anderson, he's going to take December to get to know the new LSU staff, wait and see how the staff shakes. Who's going to be his defensive line coach? Is Frank Wilson on the staff? He'll be able to make another visit to LSU in January when the dead period ends and he can have in-person contact again. And then he'll sign a grant and aid. Remember, there's no LOI anymore, the letters of intent. So you just sign your financial aid paperwork. So he can just sign his grant and aid and then enroll in school wherever he's going to go in January. You don't have to sign anything tomorrow. You don't have to. Just Wednesday is the first day you can. So there's still a shot that Richard Anderson ends up, he's still committed to LSU, and he could still end up in the class. But there's also a possibility that if he doesn't like who his defensive line coach is going to be, if Frank Wilson's not here, that he could flip, and Texas is the one pushing for his commitment. And as I understand it, Texas has a 7-figure NIL promise on the table for Richard Anderson, which you would expect. I mean, he's a 5-star number 1 defensive lineman in the country. And I was also told that LSU's offer is very competitive and comparable. So I don't know the exact dollar amount, But money will be comparable. It's about where he's going to be comfortable. And not knowing who his coach is going to be is a big part of that. And obviously, Frank Wilson is his primary recruiter. So if you're Lane Kiffin, I think you ask yourself the question right now, like, how essential is Frank Wilson to locking down Richard Anderson and New Orleans? And is it worth not having Kevin Smith on the staff to maintain all those relationships? Now, my answer is, yeah. I mean, I don't know Kevin Smith. I don't care if Kevin Smith's here or not. I know Frank Wilson. I know he loves LSU. He loves Louisiana. He's got great ties to New Orleans. He's got, I mean, you have the number one defensive lineman in the country basically saying, if Frank's there, I'll be there. But if he's maybe not going to be there, then I'm not signing. I mean, that's powerful. And he's not the only one. I mean, Frank is the one who has those relationships. So, you know, it's a mistake that Brian Kelly made early in his tenure at LSU. Remember, Brian Kelly brought Frank Wilson here. That was a very good thing he did. But in not retaining so many people that had those relationships in Louisiana, and not retaining Corey Raymond, like, that was a problem. You're bringing in a Brian Polian as his recruiting coordinator initially was a whiff. Not retaining Corey Raymond was a whiff. Bringing in Robert Steeples, I mean, that was a whiff. And it cost them. But over his time in Baton Rouge, he rebuilt his staff with everyone that had ties to LSU. And I hope that's a lesson Lane Kiffin doesn't have to learn the hard way as well. So, listen, he's the head coach. He has autonomy to hire his staff however he wants. And every coach is going to bring people that know them, know their system, are loyal to them. That is a 100 out of 100 thing that happens. 100% of the time, a head coach is going to bring people with him who are his guys. And you'll have a blending of staffs and new guys that come in. That happens everywhere. But this is one that, to me, should feel non-negotiable. And I don't know how that's going to shake with Frank Wilson. It's very much up in the air right now. But my hope is that Frank Wilson does end up a part of the staff, and Richard Anderson ends up a part of this class, and LSU continues to have a stranglehold on New Orleans area talent. But we'll see how it all plays out. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, Williamson, EYE.com. Told you yesterday, man, I was over at the Kiffin press conference and bumped into a buddy, Michael, who's a photographer for the Advocate. And he was telling me about his experience with Dr. Blake. He heard us talking. He listens to the show, heard us talking about it. Had always been told, so he's 49 years old, had always been told not a candidate for LASIK. So he heard me talking about EVO ICL. ICL is the implantable contact lens. It's an alternative to LASIK. So if you're nearsighted, so you can't see far away, and you wear contacts or glasses, and you're not a candidate for LASIK, well, EVO ICL is an alternative where you have a contact lens implanted in your eye. And it's totally reversible too, by the way. Pain-free, little to no downtime. Get more information. Just go for that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Rolling along here on a Tuesday edition, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll knock out a quick break. Remember, if you got a question or comment, you get it in, email us, tweet us, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You can always jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat as well on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Appreciate you for being there. If you are watching on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. And shout out to everybody watching on WBTR as well. And listening on our great affiliates on ESPN Alexandria, Lafayette, Lake Charles, or online. We appreciate you for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. Okay, quick break. We'll come back. We'll give you a little bit of what Kellen Moore had to say. I know it feels like a total left turn on this day, but a little bit, or maybe I'll just decide not to do the same stuff at all. I don't know. I might come back from the break and there'll be 3 more flips, and it'll derail us again. So, in any event, we'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I want to send a gigantic thank you to Derek Duplessis and our friends at Duplessis Builders. So today, I've told you for many weeks leading up that at Parish Construction and Roofing, we've had our 12 Days of Christmas promotion. We're not trying to sell roofs or anything like that. This was just something that we wanted to do around the holidays to be able to bless people around Christmas. And so at Parish, we put up $1,000 cash for 12 families. And Derek stepped in and matched it. So the 12 families that we were able to help got $2,000 cash. They got shoes from Ruckus for the family, and they got Christmas dinner from our friends at Chris's Specialty Foods. It's great to be partnered with great people. And so every day when I sit there and tell you about Duplessis Builders, I'm telling you about pools and outdoor kitchens and putting greens and different things they could do to beautify your outdoor space, and all that is legitimate. They're awesome. I mean, they were named a top 50 pool builder in America by Pool and Spa Magazine. I mean, come on. That's incredible third-party validation. But they're awesome people as well. So need a pool or an outdoor kitchen, you can trust the best. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She says she's got a dream, and I ask what it is. She wants a little.
LouisianaSports.net and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge are teaming up to send you to the All-State Sugar Bowl. Enter now for your chance to win 2 tickets to the big game in New Orleans on Thursday, January 1st, plus a 2-night stay in the city and $200 in expenses. Don't miss it. Head to LouisianaSports.net/contest to enter. We'll announce the winner on Monday, December 8th.
Yeah, if you go to the homepage at LouisianaSports.net, you'll see the big Sugar Bowl logo. You just tap that logo and you're entered to win. We might have a lot of Ole Miss fans listening to the show these days. They could be in the Sugar Bowl. I mean, that ain't a bad thing for Ole Miss fans to enter. I mean, they're going to get they should get a home playoff game. If they win it, there's a chance they could end up in the Sugar Bowl Sugar Bowl is a quarterfinal matchup this year. So, I mean, we're giving somebody tickets. You don't have to be an LSU fan. You don't have to be from Louisiana. So 2 tickets to the game, 2-night hotel stay. It'd be like a nice consolation prize.
$200 too.
Yeah, $200 to help for expenses, whatever it is. So, spread the word. Send it to your Ole Miss friends. That's our olive branch. Yes, we stole your coach in the middle of your greatest season ever. But here's your opportunity to go to the game on us. Oh, you made the Sugar Bowl. Sure, it'll be great for you. Sure, it's going to go awesome when you face Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. That probably wouldn't happen. Well, I don't think Ohio State would play in the Sugar Bowl. Because last year was Georgia Notre Dame. I went to it. Whatever. I'm sure it's going to work out fine. I'm sure Pete Golding is going to be a home run hire. Nothing's going to go wrong at all for you guys without Lane Kiffin. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. We'll talk more about Ole Miss later. They're not the story here. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Somebody sent me a clip today of I hesitate to even talk about this, but so Clinton Yates does a national ESPN show, and I'm sure he's super talented and really good and all whatever. We air 1 hour of it locally here. For those that ask, like we have to contractually, when you're an ESPN affiliate, you're obligated to air so many hours of national programming, whatever. And so after Off the Bench in Baton Rouge with Hester and I almost went Hester and T-Bob with Hester and Flynn. Sorry, Matt. We have 1 hour of Clinton Yates. So a friend sent me a clip. I didn't hear this, but a friend sent me a clip of Clinton Yates saying effectively that the reason Lane Kiffin delayed his decision as long as he did was because he was waiting for the Iron Bowl to see if Alabama lost, because if Alabama lost, then they were going to fire Kalen DeBoer, and then Lane Kiffin was going to go to Alabama. That's some pretty wicked mental gymnastics right there to think all that through. And it's absolutely completely unfounded, based in no form of reality whatsoever from anywhere at all, which just makes it even funnier. But here, can you hear this music? This is the clip. I don't know if you can hear it. Wait, hang on. Yeah, play it.
That's the job Lane Kiffin wants. And he's willing to step on any school, including LSU, until he gets there. And the reason why he waited until the Iron Bowl ended to make that call is because if Alabama had lost that game to Auburn, they probably would have fired their coach too. And he was willing to snake both Ole Miss and LSU if Alabama had become calling as well. Don't forget that if you're sticking your chest out in Baton Rouge right now, talking about we got the big guy.
As someone who has spent the last 6 weeks of his life knowing way more about this situation than I ever thought or cared to know. I mean, when something like this happens and you're covering the story, like if you could see my call log, you'd be astonished. I can tell you what Clinton Yates said right there is so stupid. Like, I shouldn't say stupid. It's wholly ignorant. And what it actually reminded me of is why national people should not talk about college football. Because they have no idea. And it's one of those things where they exist their whole lives in not only NFL and pro sports, but major market NFL and pro sports. That's what they do all the time. And it makes sense, right? If you're a national show, you have to appeal to the most dense population areas. So what do you talk about? New York, LA, Chicago, DC, and it's storylines, right? Why do you think the Dallas Cowboys are they're talking about the Dallas Cowboys in February? Or May, just because always, Dak, I mean, it's just whatever's going to be appealing. So that's what they talk about all the time. And they only overstep into college football when it becomes a major national headline. Well, Lane Kiffin's a major national headline. So here you have a guy who, by the way, I think Clinton Yates might actually even be from Louisiana. I think I heard that somewhere. It spent some time in Louisiana in his life, but has absolutely zero clue about any of this. But in his own dismissive logic has found a way to believe that this is reality is insane. And it's patently absurd to think like, and just to pass that opinion off as truth, which is why, I remember this so vividly. When LSU played Clemson for the national championship, First Take was in New Orleans. And whenever a show like that goes on the road, you have to basically have a court jester, right? It's someone who can, because you have a live studio audience. And so I've done this twice when First Take has been here. It was once for the NBA All-Star game and then once for the Natty with LSU and Clemson. And so whenever the show goes to break, you have a live audience there. Well, they want to keep the energy up because it's like a 3-hour deal. I mean, you're sitting in a chair and you can't leave for 3 hours. So during the break, they have somebody come out as like a hype man. And so that was me. And now you're throwing out T-shirts and you're asking questions and you're interacting. You're just trying to keep the energy up. Well, I got to spend time adjacent a lot to Stephen A. that day. And he's brilliant at what he does. And he's so good. There's a reason he's the highest paid employee at ESPN and all that sort of stuff. I'm not dismissing. But his lack of understanding of the LSU football team in 2019 relative to Clemson was comical. Listening to him talk that day, both on air and behind the scenes. He was a guy that covers the NFL and the NBA and doesn't know a lick, like could not have told you 5 players' names on the LSU team and was trying to break down that game. The Lakers here. Like, that's not my lane. Giant national story, that's not really what I do here. Like, I do the thing I do that my audience wants to hear. I mean, it's just a really embarrassing thing to hear. Kind of embarrassed that show was on our air today. I'm actually embarrassed that show's on our air most days, but we're kind of obligated to carry a little bit of it. So, anyway, probably a great guy, though. Probably a great guy. Awful take, but probably a great guy. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Industrial Generac Generator Power. Arco.com. Power goes out at your business. What do? Well, you have to have a backup power option. That's Arco. This is not for your home. These are not standby generators for your home. This is standby generator power for your business. It's energy for your business. So get started today. If you don't have a plan for what happens when the power goes out at your business, let Arco Power Systems help. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. They can come and everything's turnkey. They can install one of those standby generators. They can service your generator. And if you need a rental, they can help you there as well. And they're everywhere. Home base is in Baton Rouge, but they have offices in Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, and all points in between. Arco.com. ARCCO, Arco.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. All right, Muse will have Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2. If you missed the news earlier today, Lane Kiffin announced that Charlie Weiss Jr. will, in fact, coach Ole Miss in the college football playoff. I'll get to that in 13 minutes after the top of the hour because I do have a lot of thoughts on that. We'll do it coming up on AFR.
AFR.
I'm have lunch Friday with my buddies Matt and Paul, not Musso and O'Neill. They're not really my buddies. They just work here. I'm just kidding, guys. I love you. Matt, Rick, and Paul Ragusa over at River City's 1 Hour Air. They're my good friends as well as colleagues, and happy to be in business with them. But River City's 1 Hour Air, great people, and they always provide a great service. So remember, you see the big yellow vans and trucks all over town, and this is a great time of year, man. I woke up today. We actually did our family photos. If you're watching, it's why I'm moderately dressed up today. We did our family Christmas photos, and it was the feels like outside this morning was 32. Drew was miserable, poor baby. I don't know that we got any good pictures because we were all frostbitten. But when it's cold like that, you have your heater on inside, and it's cold weather months, meaning you're turning on your heater. Make sure that thing is safe and efficient. Call River City's 1 Hour Air for your heater safety check. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She's even kind of crazy about my farmer's tan. She's the only one who really understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Well, she ain't.
Remember, you can always get 10% off toys, the riding toys over at Sunshine for the kiddos. Christmas is just about here. How about some John Deere? We've got a beautiful John Deere tractor toy right here. They have other ones that squeak and make noise and all kinds of stuff. Drew has a few of them. A shout out to my guy Rooney over at Sunshine. Hooked Drew up with a bunch of John Deere tractor toys a few years ago. He loves them still. So check out Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Muso, Tigers in the Pro.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, let's go ahead and start with Monday Night Football. New England Patriots, big winners over the Giants a night ago. Kayshon Boutte, big part of that. Caught four passes, 35 yards, and a touchdown in the game. The touchdown, his 6th receiving score of the season. That leads the New England Patriots team. Also caught 4 out of the 5 targets his way. So big night there for Kayshon, who's back healthy. Kayvon Chason on the other side of the ball for New England. 4 tackles in the ball game. 2 hits on the quarterback. Just missed getting home for a sack in that one, but still a productive night nonetheless. And then how about Cordell Flott in the slot over there for the New York Giants? 5 stops, including a TFL in the loss a night ago. On Sunday, I want to bring Patrick Queen up here. He had 6 stops in the game and a hit on the quarterback over in the snow up in Pittsburgh. But he's also dealing with a glute injury right now, and Mike Tomlin, in a rare Tuesday press conference on an off day, did mention that Queen would be questionable right now for the game against the Baltimore Ravens. Omar Spates, 7 tackles in the Rams loss against the Patriots. And last but not least, Devin White, 11 stops, second on his team, actually, as the Chargers destroyed the Raiders. That's Tigers in the Pros.
I mentioned earlier, man, I had an awesome day over at Parrish Construction and Roofing, man. We today we got to meet our 12 winners for our 12 days of Christmas. And I'm not trying to sell your roof today. Just a really cool thing to be able to do. And maybe if you don't know, we partner with Duplessis Builders, Chris's Specialty Foods, and Ruckus to put together 12 sort of gift packs. $2,000 cash, Christmas dinner from Chris's, shoes from Ruckus, Parrish and Duplessis each put up $1,000 cash to be able to bless 12 families this Christmas. It was such a moving thing to be able to do and to see those people today. And if you have an opportunity and you have the means, you can help. Whatever it may be, if you can give back, every day would be great. But especially during the holiday season, take the opportunity to do it if you can. So, happy to be able to do it. Parrishbuilt.com. Parrishbuilt.com. Okay, Sports Center's coming up. We'll kick off hour number 3. I do want to talk about Charlie Weiss coaching Ole Miss.
AFR.
Big shout out to our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. As a matter of fact, I was driving down I-10 today. And you know Baton Rouge loves a billboard, man. But I'm driving down I-10, and there was a big old Our Lady of the Lake billboard welcoming Lane Kiffin and Layla and Landry and Presley and Knox to Baton Rouge. Of course, at Our Lady of the Lake, they're the championship health partner of LSU Athletics. When you think LSU, you should think Our Lady of the Lake. The two are synonymous. Not only for the amazing care they provide the student athletes at LSU. Player gets injured, the doctors run out onto the field, the trainers, those are Our Lady of the Lake physicians that help the LSU student athletes in-game recovery, all of it. Also, the LSU students. The Our Lady of the Lake has the contract for the LSU Student Center as well. And then there's the standalone hospitals. There's the Lake After Hours Clinic. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Shaw Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Shaw Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Texas Tech football coach Joey McGuire's agreed in principle to a new 7-year deal, average nearly $7 million a year. His Red Raiders are 5th in the college football playoff rankings. To the Steelers fans who've been booing the team for lackluster performances the last several weeks, Coach Mike Tomlin agrees with you. Said today he shares the frustrations, understands what makes this thing go, which is winning. Going into the AFC North showdown against the Ravens on Sunday, a matchup where the division lead is up for grabs, Tomlin's team has dropped 5 of 7.
We got to roll our sleeves up and go back to work, man. Our process for us is a thing for me. Certainly our last performance wasn't up to snuff, but I don't know that it lessens our belief in self or our ability to deliver individually and collectively moving forward.
Mike Tomlin. The Steelers claimed former Vikings receiver Adam Thielen off waivers and waived corner Darius Slay. Team also signed corner Asante Samuel Jr. to the active roster from the practice squad. NBA Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson out at least 3 weeks due to a right adductor injury.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Matt?
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. It's been obviously a whirlwind day. Tomorrow is the early signing period. So we do have a recruiting tracker up at LouisianaSports.net. The very quick catch up, if you've not heard yet. LSU has added 2 commitments from Ole Miss. So they flipped 2 prospects from Ole Miss. 4-star tight end J.C. Anderson has flipped his commitment from Ole Miss to LSU. And then Ryan Moret, who is a 4-star offensive lineman, an elite offensive lineman out of Miami, has flipped to LSU as well. The decommitments, wide receiver Kenny Darby has decommitted, as has offensive lineman Jalen Chapman out of New Orleans. And Kervin Johnson, wide receiver, has flipped from LSU, incidentally, to Ole Miss. Shea Dixon was with us earlier today, said expect more. The 3 members of the LSU class who decommitted today, it's safe to say that those were players that were purged. So you have I don't know a better way to say it, but a coaching staff comes in, and this is not unique to Lane Kiffin or John Summerall at Florida or Alex Golish at Auburn or Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas or James Franklin at Virginia Tech or any other coach. I mean, you're going to go into a job. There's going to be commits that are already there. You're going to evaluate it and decide if you want to honor the offer that was given by the previous staff. And you don't have to. And there's going to be turnover. That's just going to happen all the time. So, but it sounds like they are not anywhere close to being done. And based on a conversation I had last night, they're anticipating a really good Wednesday over at LSU. So I don't know what else that means, what other prospects they're anticipating getting into this class. There's 2 you got today. We'll see what others may come. But they're anticipating a really big day, very, very confident of a really big day on Wednesday. We'll follow it. Of course, if you want to see that recruiting tracker, it's all there and all the stuff's free over at louisianasports.net. Okay. This is pretty significant news here today. Lane Kiffin released a statement earlier today announcing that LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis Jr. is going to be allowed to coach Ole Miss in the playoffs, despite being LSU coordinator Charlie Weis Jr. The statement that Lane Kiffin released earlier today, I'll read it for you quickly here. He says, with the playoff committee releasing updated rankings tonight, I wanted it to be known that after conversations with LSU, we are allowing Charlie to return to Ole Miss to coach the team during the playoffs. I've already made the committee aware of this, and I'm hopeful this decision will allow Ole Miss to receive the highest ranking possible because these great players are very deserving of that. I'm excited that Charlie will be back to help coach the greatest team in the history of Ole Miss. Okay, so that's the statement from Lane Kiffin about allowing Charlie Weis to go back. I think, and by the way, this has been roundly celebrated. Kirk Herbstreit tweeted about it. Everyone is celebrating this move, this decision to do this. And I do believe part of this is probably a little self-serving for Lane Kiffin because he can sort of, he can play the card that he's, even though he left, he still wants Ole Miss to do well, and he's basically putting Charlie Weis on loan to Ole Miss at this point to go help them win. I also believe genuinely that he wants them to do well and the players that he coached and all that sort of stuff. I believe both of those things can be true at the same time. A big part of Lane Kiffin's press conference Monday was about the manner in which he left, as you'd imagine. He talked about it in his open. He was asked about it. There was times he wasn't asked about it, but deviated there anyway. Like play number 2. This is Lane, just a little dose of him talking about how difficult of a decision it was.
Leaving Ole Miss was extremely difficult, and in that we tried every single thing possible to continue to coach the team through the playoffs and to continue to coach the players. In the end, that was their decision, and we totally respect that and appreciate the time and energy that we tried to figure out a plan to do the best thing at the time for those players. The last 6 years of my life have been the best 6 years of my life.
That's enough. That's the point I wanted. Kiffin made the point over and over and over again that he wanted to coach his team, and it was Ole Miss's decision not to let him. And, more than 2 weeks ago, I sat right here, and I gave you what was phrased as an opinion that they weren't going to let Lane Kiffin coach the team, but I knew that was fact because they told him that all the way throughout this thing, that there was no way they were letting him coach the college football playoff. And I don't care if he said that they told him that on Saturday night when all that decision was made. That decision was made weeks ago, and it was made abundantly clear to him weeks ago that if he left, he was not coaching the playoff. And as time goes on, the truth comes out about these things. But for me, this feels extremely hypocritical from the Ole Miss perspective. And I know this is going to be perceived by a lot of people as the LSU media guy going to bat for the now LSU coach. Take it however you want. I don't know anyone in media that is more pro NIL portal, do what you want than me. Is that fair? Like, can we say that? Like, we all understand. For as long as I've sat here, players, you want to opt out, opt out. You want to transfer 6 times, transfer 6 times. You want to get a giant payday one year, go to another school, get a payday. You want to be Diego Pavi and get further eligibility, good. Coaches, portal it up, whatever. I'm good with all of it. I'm good with all of it because this is a mess college football created. So in this instance, you could say I'm just going to bat for the LSU coach, but really I'm pretty consistent with my approach on these types of topics. Ole Miss wouldn't let Lane Kiffin coach their team in the playoff, despite him wanting to do so. And I agree with their decision, by the way. Just to be clear, I do. I agree with their decision. If I think of it the other way, if LSU's coach left after the regular season before the playoff to go be the Alabama coach, would you want that person coaching your team in the playoff? Hell no. Hell no. No shot. Ice Cube's chance in hell you'd want that person coaching your team in the playoff. I understand Ole Miss's perspective. They're right. So why are you letting Charlie Weiss come coach the team in the playoff? Because that's LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss. That's the guy who just signed a 3-year, $6 million deal to be LSU's offensive coordinator, who got on a plane and left your team for Baton Rouge on Sunday. Same dude, same principle. And you can say, well, it's an assistant. What does it matter? It's the same principle. Like, it's that old story that's attributed to Churchill. But, this very erudite woman, a man walks up and says, would you sleep with me for $1 million? She says, well, yeah, I should say I would. So will you sleep with me for $5? Oh, what type of woman do you think I am? So we've already established that. Now we're just haggling over price. The premise is the same. Head coach, coordinator, same. It's the same premise. Like, you didn't want the LSU coach to coach your team in the game. Okay, I get that. I respect that. I really do. I would think the same thing. So why are you letting Charlie Weiss come by? Why? Because you want to win. Because you want to win. And it's the same reason why Keith Carter, who's known this whole time that Lane Kiffin was going to leave, but never held his feet to the fire. Never held his feet to the fire. So, I mean, at any point, could have held his feet to the fire and made him make a call before the Egg Bowl. Could have done it. Made the transition with Joe Judge, all that sort of stuff. Well, didn't. And it became the big giant mess that it was. Why did he not make the call earlier? Because he wanted Lane Kiffin to keep coaching the team because it gave him the best opportunity to win. Okay. Got it. Okay, respect. But then don't be a hypocrite when it comes to this situation. That's the problem I have. Everyone who's all up in arms about the way Lane Kiffin left, what's he supposed to do? Just be the Ole Miss coach forever? Or until they don't have a good season so he can leave? What are you talking about? Like, people say, oh, it's so unprecedented. Yeah, it's unprecedented. Yes, this is unprecedented. This is only the second year ever of a 12-team playoff. What if this was 2 years ago in a 14 playoff and Ole Miss is ranked 7th? Is it okay then? Because they're not going to be in a 14 playoff because they're ranked 7th. So it's okay. It would have been okay then to leave your 11-1 team because you would have been leaving before a New Year's 6, but not before a playoff, right? That's so, just so we're clear. See, everybody keeps moving the goalposts on this. I've been pretty consistent. Like, I'm good leaving. Players leave. Last year, we had players whose teams made the college football playoff and opted out. I mean, Bo Prabula, the backup quarterback at Penn State, opted out in the playoff to go because he had to get in the portal to go to Missouri. Are we crushing Bo Prabula? No, we didn't crush Bo Prabula. You know what we said? Man, the calendar sucks as that kid has to make that decision. So why are you crushing a coach who has to make the same decision because the same calendar sucks? Like, yeah, it sucks. I agree completely. It's stupid. I wish they changed the calendar. Because Ole Miss, with or without Lane Kiffin, wouldn't win a national championship this year. They're going to lose, and then if the calendar was right, he could have opted out, or he could have left at the end of the season after they lost, and everyone would have gotten it. And there would have been people upset and all that sort of stuff, whatever, but it's what it is. Because every coach ever who has ever left a school ever has done this. The whole, oh, how can he leave his players? Every single coach that's ever left for another job ever has left their players. That's the nature of it. And the hypocrisy that people have. Like, you never left a job? I listened to Paul Feinbaum crushing Lane Kiffin, calling him a disgrace. Hey, Paul, you left WJOX to go to the SEC network. Are you a disgrace? Or did you take a better opportunity at hand? God bless. What do you do for a living? You're a teacher. Someone's going to increase your salary, give you a chance to go do the best ever, the dream destination of your profession. But you got to leave in the middle of the school year. You going? Yeah, you are. It's amazing how people hold coaches to different standards. Amazing. In any event, I get it, how that's going to be perceived by a lot of people. This is the LSU guy going to bat for the LSU coach. But I'll put my head on my pillow tonight feeling very comfortable with my stance on this because it's how I feel about this era of college football. A lot of people clutch their pearls and scream about how they're ruining the sacredness of college football. All I've said is, y'all, college football, as much as I love it in spite of itself and have my whole life. Because college football is so freaking flawed. You're going to tell me you're going to give the death penalty to SMU because Eric Dickerson's riding around in a gold Trans Am in the 80s? Will Wade gets run out of LSU because of his damn strong offer, which, by the way, we've talked about that a billion times. And then 2 years later, pay him whatever you want. Give me a break. Lane Kiffin isn't the villain here. He's not. He's operating within the system. Can't change the system. You don't like the behavior, change the system, which hopefully is the net result of this. And if Lane Kiffin leaves LSU after a year, I'll sit there and I'll say the same thing. Dude left for a better offer. Lane Kiffin in 2 years goes to the NFL, I go, God bless, man. Dude wanted something LSU couldn't offer. I get it. You're not going to hear me sitting over here crushing a coach or a player for leaving for a better opportunity. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're bored. And by the way, I do feel badly for the Ole Miss players. And I do feel badly for the Ole Miss fans. I mean, it sucks. That is a thing that sucks what happened. It does. It sucks. But there's no alternative. He didn't have the option to wait to the end of the playoff, and he took a better job. This is the hand you're dealt. There's no other way to do it. Okay. Live with the result. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a break. We'll continue here. Stick around.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. For Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, I am so fired up not only to tell you about how you can feel your best every day with hormone replacement therapy, but peptides, y'all, are so life-changing. If you are not familiar with peptides, you need to get to know and learn more about peptides. I've told you about BPC 157. It has changed my life. Literally, I don't say that loosely. I've had chronic back pain. You've heard me complain about it forever. I started on BPC 157 about 6 months ago. The transformation to heal and be pain-free is astonishing. I feel like I never thought I would experience this type of relief. But it's not just for things like inflammation or pain or recovery, also gut issues, mental health, clarity, energy, mood, so many ways that are non-pharmaceutical. You can feel your best. yourgoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't in the cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
I got a text to the show for a guy named Chris. So Matt, you honestly don't believe the rules in place before revenue share and NIL benefited LSU? If you were to poll your audience, 99% would say they hate this new pay-for-play era of college football. You're on an island here. I replied to him. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if I'm on an island. It's how I feel. I'm not telling you I'm right. Like, I'm not pounding the table and saying I'm right and you're all wrong. I also think there is an this is just human nature. There is an enormous amount of groupthink among human beings. Like, a lot of people are sheep. A lot of people want to be told what to think, what to believe. That's why they look for affirmation, not information. It's harder to move away from the pack and think for yourself. It's easier to be a lemming and just fall in line. So I understand everyone says college football, the marching bands, the fight songs, the school colors, the rivalries. How could we possibly have college football without Texas and Texas A&M? They didn't play for 15 years. And you know what? College football only grew and got better. Oh, the NIL, the transfer portal, they're ruining college football. What happened to the loyalty? You know what? Ratings keep going up. Revenue keeps going up every year. Oh, 12-team playoff. Oh, it's boring. What are we doing? What about a champion? They're devaluing the regular season. Ratings keep going up. The playoff viewership up. You actually have more teams engaged throughout the fan base is engaged throughout the season. Like, all of the things that people have been force-fed their entire lives about college football is garbage. We love college football because we're passionate about our teams. They represent our states and our cities and our universities that we attended and things we grew up rooting for and loving. And yes, and all of that stuff is amazing. I love fight songs and school colors and rivalries. All that stuff is amazing. Yes, it is. But it's not the only thing that makes up college football. And when I have to hear people talk about like the tradition of bowl games, it is so laughable. Hey, let me ask you a question. LSU fan who loves the tradition of bowl games, how many of y'all packing y'all ass up and going to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl or Nashville for the Music City Bowl? Huh? How many going? Y'all going? Muse, you going to take off work and go?
No.
Paul, you going to take off work and go? Huh?
I will not.
No, you're not? No kidding, huh? Huh. How many LSU fans went? What was it that did they play in last year? Texas Bowl, was that right?
That's right, the Texas Bowl.
I don't even remember who they played. Who did they play?
Baylor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Played Baylor in the Texas Bowl. How many LSU fans do you think went to that game? They had a line outside a athletic administration building waiting to buy tickets. Think about it was just clicking refresh on a computer to buy tickets when they went live. You think that happened?
No.
Because you don't care about stupid bowl games. The tradition of bowl games. Yo, I'm just the only one. Let me not say I'm the only one. I'm just one of the few willing to present an alternative point of view. Because I'll tell you this much. Everybody that wants to sell you Auburn and Georgia, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Man, that's great for college football. You know what was great for college football this year? Texas at Georgia. That was great for college football this year. You know what was awesome this year? The classic Big Ten battle of Indiana at Oregon. Monster game with huge implications. Tell me you weren't entertained by that. Come on. We just want good games, y'all. We just want good games. We want competitive games. We want a good system that allows you to play it out on the field. I don't want 2013 Florida State going undefeated, not getting a chance to play because a bunch of goons in a hotel ballroom decided they weren't worthy because their quarterback got hurt. And maybe they get run. Who knows? And don't give me the crap about how Georgia beat them. Their whole team opted out. Shut up, idiot. Not interested in that. Come on. A real playoff is awesome. All of this stuff. There's a reason we keep watching. There's a reason we're staying more engaged. There's a reason ratings are going up. Revenue's going up. It's not just because new people are finding college football. It's because there's more on the line. Through November, you still got a shot. Well, it devalues. Oh, really? Tell me how much LSU beating Ole Miss last year in overtime was devalued because it was a game in October. Bunch of y'all dumbasses still ran on the field. My wife was one of them. No, she didn't. She didn't out the Alabama game in 2022. Come on. What are we talking about? So all these people complaining about Lane Kiffin leaving, the manner in which he did, he had no other option. Well, he could have stayed. Okay, so then he stays at Ole Miss forever, right? Because now you can never leave. Because if you leave, then you're leaving your team and the guys you recruited and blah, 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 blah. He was the first. This is the same reaction. Y'all, this is the same reaction. The same stupid reaction that lemmings had in 2016 when Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey opted out of bowl games. They quit on their team. What's the life lesson you're learning? You know what the life lesson you're learning is? You have millions of dollars on the line in a few months in the NFL draft, and I'm not going to go play in the friggin' Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl for a stupid nothing trophy so a bunch of fat dudes in ugly blazers can get a payday for a game under the guise of a 501c3 nonprofit. Who are you kidding, man? Come on. And now, nobody cares if people opt out because, the shade has been removed. The emperor with no clothes has been exposed. The thing with Oz and the curtain and all that stuff, it's gone. We all see it for what it is. You just wanted to ignore it before. What, you think your team got all those? Well, you think everybody was paying players except LSU all those years? Oh, LSU never paid a player, right? Come on. Just accept it for what it is. And if you don't like it, change the rule. That's my hope of this. My hope of all this, look, I hope Lane Kiffin does awesome at LSU, right? As a fan, alum, all that stuff, I hope he does awesome. But I'm not sitting here talking to you today as a fan or an alum. My job is to give you opinions on sports stuff. That's what I get paid to do. Give you honest opinions. And some of y'all like it, some of y'all don't. Some of y'all love me, some of y'all hate me. I hear all your messages. I mean, I know. Well, not all of them. There's too many. But I see a lot of them. I know what the feeling is. That's okay. I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to kiss my wife and play with my son and have a great night's sleep. And I'll get up and do it again tomorrow as long as they let me. It's fine. We're just having a conversation. My job is to sit here and give you honest opinions. And it's not about Lane Kiffin. I hope Lane Kiffin does awesome at LSU. I hope he wins games and wins championships and all that good stuff. But Lane Kiffin is the first because it's just the era. And it'll happen again. So John Summerall's doing it. John Summerall's leaving in the middle of a playoff. Why ain't anybody crushing John Summerall today? Tulane's letting him coach. Now, I get it. Tulane's different. Tulane is not Ole Miss to LSU. Tulane to Florida. Tulane and Florida are not the same. I get that. It's not shade at Tulane. They got a great program. They've done a great job with their program. Really have. And I like to see Louisiana schools do well. But we're kidding ourselves if we're trying to pretend like Tulane and Florida are the same. They're not. So I get it. But hopefully what comes of this is you change the rules, is you change the calendar. So, and it's not just about making coaches have to stay into the end of the season before they can negotiate. You got to change the calendar. Like, you have to start the season earlier to where the season's done on New Year's so you can have your coaching carousel after New Year's or through December for the teams that don't make the playoff. And then you have a signing period after that. But the way it goes right now, there's no option otherwise. And that is the irony of this. They changed this calendar thinking that it was going to benefit the coaches so they'd have their roster set earlier. That was why they did all this. Getting rid of the spring portal, the 1 January portal window, the early signing period. That's why they did it. And ultimately, the thing they did that thought they were doing to make their lives easier has just complicated the hell out of everything. Anyway, all right. Get off my soapbox. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. For Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Oh, I need to get by Lee Michaels. Erica's ring's done. I told you Erica's diamond, her wedding ring, the diamond, the prongs were falling. The diamond, the main stone was like falling out. So brought it over to Lee Michaels and they fixed it. So I got to go pick it up over there. It's ready. Forgot about that. Guess don't go on my finger every day. I don't remember about it. But anyway, Lee Michaels is great, y'all. 10 locations in all. Amazing selection. And they really treat you awesome when you walk in. They're great at creating the Lee Michaels experience, as they call it. It just makes you comfortable. You're not pressured into buying anything. You want to try on 1,000 pieces of jewelry and not buy anything? You can do that. They want you to feel comfortable when you walk in the door. It's not something that we do every day. We don't buy jewelry every day, at least not all of us. So maybe some of you do. If you do, God bless. But, if you want to learn and make an informed decision, you want to be excited to present that gift to your loved one, and you want her to be thrilled, Lee Michaels can help you do it. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it is after further review. I'm pretty excited to get to talking about football sooner or later than all the off-the-field stuff, hiring staff and signing day and everything. That's part of it, so they'll make it through. All right, well, now I got a quick break. Come back. Jimmy will be here in about 15 minutes for Out of Locks. We'll look forward to that. Y'all stick around on AFR.
After further review.
Get on by Clegg's and get your Christmas tree. We did that on Black Friday. It's the Moscona family tradition. Day after Thanksgiving, we pack up the old sleigh, head over to Clegg's and pick out our family Christmas tree. And then Erica turns our house into Santa's workshop. It still looks like a bomb exploded in Santa's workshop at our house right now. It's crazy. But 'tis the season to be merry. And Clegg's can help you do that. If you want to get a Christmas tree, they got plenty of them. You want poinsettias? Poinsettias, poinsettias? They got the best selection anywhere. I also learned at Clegg's on Black Friday, did you know that a poinsettia is actually an inside plant? Erica keeps ours outside, and that probably explains why, well, I mean, they live past Christmas. But anyway, they're an inside plant. I learned that. Anyway, buy local, shop local. They got trees and poinsettias and all your Christmas decor. So go see our friends today over at Clegg's Nursery.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun, over by the gate, Lordy, here she
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be some Hollywood stuff, man. Lane Kiffin, Honey Badger in the meeting room. This mad scientist.
That was Tyrann Mathieu on the Up and Adams show. He's asked if he would join the LSU staff. Be interesting. I mean, kind of feels like that defensive staff is mostly in place. We'll see what happens with Blake Baker. The one, honestly, big defensive staff unknown right now is with Kyle Williams, another former LSU Tiger. For what it's worth, here's what Tyrann said about the Lane Kiffin hire.
You know, Lane Kiffin is historically, right, like he's going to put up 500 yards a game. And so that's not really something LSU is used to outside of Joe Burrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every year we be craving for a quarterback and craving to score points. Well, now we have the guy to do that, but can we continue playing great defense? That's going to prove if he's a championship coach or not.
Well, that's true. And I know I've been getting heat from people about what I said before the LSU Ole Miss game this year, where I said Lane Kiffin is not an elite head coach. I say he's not a championship. I think the way I said it was he's not a championship level head coach. And I think that's true. I think he is an elite, brilliant play caller, which is what I said in that clip. But he's got to prove that he's a championship coach because he hasn't proven that yet. He won 2 Conference USA titles at FAU. But now, given the resources of an LSU, can he prove he's a championship coach? I hope so. I mean, that's why he's here. But that's why Brian Kelly came here as well. So it remains to be seen. I think Lane Kiffin does have still a lot to prove. His offensive prowess and acumen, that's undeniable. I mean, everywhere he's gone, offenses have been great. He is a brilliant offensive mind. They had the most talented team in the history of Ole Miss a year ago in 2024, and they went 9-3, lost 3 games they had no business losing. Can you avoid that same fate? That's the kind of thing that he'll have to prove in time. We'll see if he can. Hope he can. As I mentioned, Tyron is a former Tiger. Would he join the staff? We've seen that before. Obviously, Corey Raymond's a former Tiger who's on the staff right now, and so is Kyle Williams. Williams is going to be the interesting one to watch here, aside from Blake Baker. And if you missed the start of the show, Blake Baker is interesting because he interviewed for the Tulane job. That's his alma mater. He wants to be a head coach, but Blake needs to sort of weigh his path to being a head coach. If he's offered the Tulane job, which I don't know that he has been, but if he's offered the Tulane job, would he rather become a head coach now at Tulane, which is a good G6 who might even make the college football playoff this year? It's been established with Fritz, who did a really good job, and then obviously Summerall did a really good job on top of that. And you've seen both those guys go on to get Power 4 jobs, so that path is there. Or do you stay at LSU and hopefully have a great season next year, and then maybe get a high-level Power 4 job from the coordinator to the Power 4 level, which we've seen happen as well. Tons of examples. Right? I mean, Kirby, Dan Lanning, Lincoln Riley. I mean, Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day. I mean, it happens plenty in this era. And if Blake Baker leaves, then the 2 guys he brought from his defensive staff at Missouri here, Jake Olson and Kevin Peoples, would likely go with him. But the hope is he stays. The other one that we don't know about is Kyle Williams. And Kyle was an interesting hire to begin with. Great former Tiger, played in the NFL. I think did actually a fantastic job this year, technically, with this defensive line. I mean, they were really good. Very sound, really good on the interior. But it was an interesting hire at the time because, Kyle's a guy that made a ton of money after playing 13 years in the NFL. And not that that's everything, but it allows you to live a comfortable life. And, all the talk about Kyle is he played golf every day before he became the LSU coach. He lived at Squire Creek, played golf every day, or maybe he was a member at Squire Creek, played golf every day. His children are really good athletes. His daughter are soccer players and travel teams, so he was able to go watch them. And you coached at his alma mater at Ruston, so he got to stay near the game. And so anyway, there was the lifestyle worked. And he left that to kind of, come back, the alma mater needs you. And so he came in and joined the staff. And this was a team that had such grand expectations. It was a top 10 preseason team, and they beat Clemson, get all the way up to number 3 in the country, and then the bottom falls out, right? You go 7-5, the staff gets fired, all the things that happened this year. And I think he misses the lifestyle he had before he became a coach. So I don't know what Kyle is going to do. I'm relaying things to you that are the conversations being had, and we'll see what happens there. It would be great if Kyle returned because I think he was really good on field as a defensive line coach. But I don't know if he wants to, I guess is what I'm saying. And I don't have the answer, by the way. I'm telling you very candidly. I do not know what Kyle Williams is going to do. I just know these are the types of things that are being discussed around that position in Kyle if he comes back. So it'll be fascinating to see what he does. If he wants to, I hope he does. But if not, I think I understand it as well. Most people as parents, understand you want to spend time to see your kids and you make choices in life. But if Kyle does bow out and the rest of the staff stays in place, what they do at defensive tackle coach will be interesting on the defensive line. Is it Ed Ogeron? Do they go a different direction? The other really interesting point today is since we've been on the air, DJ Durkin agreed to an extension at Auburn. And that's significant because if you were here at the start of the show, we were talking about Blake Baker, and if he did leave if Blake Baker did in fact leave for Tulane, we're looking at, the most obvious candidate to replace him would have been DJ Durkin. A lot of the word out of Auburn was that he was not happy, Durkin, that he was passed over for the head coaching job. And he has a history with Lane Kiffin. Durkin was the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss under Kiffin for a couple of years early in Lane's tenure at Ole Miss. So, and what I say is, like, sometimes the obvious answer is obvious for a reason. So now Durkin would be off the board if he's staying at Auburn. So what direction would potentially Kiffin go at defensive coordinator if Baker takes the DC job? Again, hopefully we don't have to find out. I'd love it if Blake stays. I mean, I think he's a super popular assistant coach. He's an outstanding defensive coordinator, and you'd love to see him continue to build upon what they've done. And can you imagine Blake Baker's defense complemented by an offense that can move and score points like Kiffin's can? I mean, that feels like a really good recipe, man. And hopefully they can make that beautiful music together next year. But we'll follow it as it goes. But it's going to be an interesting 24 hours as Lane Kiffin continues to put the finishing touches on his coaching staff, support staff, and then obviously with signing day being Wednesday as well, with a lot of twists and turns, very likely. Hey, we're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR. Always have my bottle of Evermore here. Drink a couple of those 64-ounce bottles every single day. It's so important to stay hydrated, especially during the cold weather months and cold and flu season. One of the best ways to help your immune system, stay hydrated. A lot of times when it's cold outside, we forget to drink water. Make it a point. That's why I carry around these big bottles all day to remind me, man, drink water. Drink water all day. And if you're going to drink water, drink Evermore. It's natural artesian water. It's a true natural artesian water. I always encourage you, man, do a side-by-side taste test of whatever bottled water that you usually buy, and then buy a bottle of Evermore and drink it side by side. The crisp, delicious, refreshing taste, and most importantly, there's never anything added or taken away. Like, go pick up a bottle of some of the popular brands you drink, and look at where it'll say certain things added for flavor or things taken out. Like, this is just out of these ancient underground aquifers. It's a natural artesian well. They pipe the water out right in the bottle. Never touches air until you uncap it. I mean, you're drinking a truly natural, all-natural product when you drink Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're hanging out with us here. We got one segment left. We're going to welcome on the Otter. We'll do a little Otter Locks here to wrap up the show. Man, it'd be really nice to actually pay attention to sports again and not just the coaching carousel, but we're getting to it. Otter Locks to wrap up the show next. We're powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
If you are thinking about selling your home, your first call needs to be to Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com. One of the things that I love about Darren is the way that he goes above and beyond for his clients. At Darren James & Associates, they've partnered with ABBA Movers to offer 25% off your moving costs when you sell or buy with Darren James. So they'll help make your move smoother and your experience more stress-free. It is everything from the clear communication, checking in with you every step of the way, easy exit listing agreements so you're never locked into a contract so you can't leave. I tell you that all the time about Darren. You're going to be thrilled with the work they provide, and Darren gets results. It's why he's in the top 1% of realtors in America. Log on to agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter,
Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
There's a Tulane guy. As I tweeted earlier, I tweeted earlier, LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker interviewed for the Tulane job Monday. LSU's working hard to keep him in Baton Rouge, which I was told. They have an offer on the table. They're hoping they keep him. It's an interesting name to keep an eye on at Tulane is Billy Napier. The former ULL Florida coach could be in play, noting the Wave hired Willie Fritz and John Summerall, who had head coaching experience. Well, there's a guy, a Tulane guy, who said, stick to reporting about LSU. Trying to push the Napier envelope so your DC doesn't leave. All I have to say is,
Henny, he can't come from Lafayette to Baton Rouge. Speak to the English. I'm not pushing Napier.
Oh my God! I gotta get that clip. He said that guy. Hit the Otter Locks thing.
Otter Locks.
All right,
time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Oh man. Otter, how are you?
He tried that again with that Summerall boy. He tried it again. No, I'm just playing. People think that's so crazy. He gets so riled up. But we did have a little bit on the show one day. But anyway,
God.
Quit trying to push. Nah, I'm not pushing me. That's classic. And he's free. He's free. He's free. Josh Rosen, baby.
Do this job long enough talking into a microphone, you're gonna say things that stick that stick forever.
Absolutely.
Undeniable.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got tonight, man?
We got a great schedule of college basketball. Big Ten conference play gets underway today. ACC, SEC Challenge starts tonight. So we got that going as well. Let's get right to it. Syracuse at home against Tennessee. Tennessee's one of my favorite teams, but coming home after their Las Vegas trip and kind of dialing down the schedule just a little bit. On the road at Syracuse, Q's catching 7.5 rather. They're improved as well. We're going to take Syracuse Orangemen plus 7.5 at home.
No, they're just the Orange Otter. Come on, they haven't been the Orange Men in like 20 years.
They're Orangemen to me, man.
They're the Syracuse Orange. Come on, they haven't been the Orangemen since Carmelo was there, dog.
Is that right? Jim Brown. Come on, man. So anyway,
Ernie Davis,
Floyd Little.
We just Donovan McNabb. We're just naming Syracuse. Jim Boeheim. Who else you got?
All right, take the Orange Man. So anyway, A&M at Pitt, the Peterson Event Center, my favorite basketball arena anywhere, courtside, sweet. You gotta love it. Pitt plus 3.5 at home against A&M. ACC team at home catching points. Wake Forest, one of the most improved teams in all of college basketball. You saw what Michigan did in that Vegas tournament. They beat Gonzaga by 40 in the final. I mean, they destroyed the field. They had them beat. They lost in Ann Arbor in double overtime. They went to Lubbock and played Texas Tech. They lost to them by 1. Now they're laying just 4.5 at home against Oklahoma. Take the Demon Deacons. And then Florida State could have beat Florida on the road. They're at home tonight against Georgia. Lay the 1.5. And one SEC team we're taking in these 5 SEC, ACC challenge games is Kentucky at home minus 6.5 against North Carolina. 5 home teams. 4 of those are ACC teams. One of the most improved conferences in college basketball against probably one of the biggest dips. SEC right now, number 5 conference RPI. Last year was 14-2. It'll be much more even this year.
Where are you tomorrow?
We are in Snows in Gonzales. So go Orangemen! Orangemen!
I'm not pushing Napier! Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
See ya. All right, we're getting out of here. Have a great night. Muse Pauly, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, I get to remind you about First South Farm Credit. Not too late, y'all, as we near the end of the year. A lot of times, as you near the end of the year, people are looking for maybe tax opportunities. How about buying land? Maybe you've started that process. Maybe you're thinking about starting that process. Our friends over at First South Farm Credit can help make it a reality. As a landowner, you're going to incur expenses. It can be tax deductible. So ask your CPA the benefits of owning recreational timber land. Might be great for you. Look, I know we say it often, but land's a finite resource, man. Columbus ain't sailing the ocean blue ever again. We found it all, and it's never going down in value. So you want a great investment property? Buying land can certainly be that. If it's 100 acres in Tangipahoa, if it's the 20 acres in St. Francisville, 1,000 acres for farmland, First South Farm Credit can help. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.